Chair Murkowski and Vice Chair Schatz, and thanks to all of you for being here today. Mr. Conrad, I'd like to follow up, I think, a bit on what Senator Murkowski and Senator Schatz were just talking about. And this question has to do with how the Trump administration is approaching its government-to-government relationships with tribal nations. So a few weeks ago, my staff met with your team to understand the office's work with Minnesota tribes. And during this meeting, we were probing into how the department has conducted any tribal consultation on the administration's decision not to provide any financial or technical assistance for work on solar and wind or battery projects. And what we heard then was that that tribal consultation hadn't occurred. So I wanted to just follow up with you on this. Can you address this? Can you talk about what your plan is to hold tribal consultation on this policy to basically pause projects that are wind or solar and so forth?
Sure. Well, right now that restriction is in the budget request. So it's a negotiation between the administration and Congress right now. If that becomes law, we're obligated to implement the law and follow the direction of the administration, of course. And looking at what our strategic plan or how we're going to implement that, those options would be what would be ripe for consultation, rather than consult on something that we don't have an ability or we're not making the decision on as our office. But
so just to be clear, this pause is in effect. Is that right? I mean, you're not making grants. You're not proceeding with projects based on the direction of the Trump administration.
But not based on the, I mean, for the Office of Indian Energy, we have base appropriations. They're not subject to the larger reviews that are going on under the IIJA or IRA programs. So our funds and our programs were paused under review. And as we move forward and bring things up for approval, we're getting things approved and getting things back to normal as best we can.
So what my concern is that this projects are paused right now, and that's having a big impact on Indian country projects that were in process and are now paused. And what I would expect, based on what the law is, that if you're going to take a policy action like that has direct impact on tribal nations, that the legal requirement to do consultation would click into place, that legal requirement is sort of underlying to the work that IE does. I mean, I think that this, as I understand it, the statutory authorization for IE requires, in quote, that it works in accordance with federal policies promoting Indian self-determination, which we all understand means specifically tribal formal consultation. So I would just ask you to think to maybe give this additional thought, and then let me know how the kind of consultation that is required when decisions the federal government makes that have specific impacts on tribal nations, that consultation is occurring.
Yeah, definitely, and thank you for the question. And we also have Office of Indian Energy continue to engage with tribes, and we've held at least one of our tribal leader working group meetings. And I know that the other two tribal leader working groups, one with fossil energy and one with nuclear energy, they've continued to have meetings as well. So there's engagement that's going on. Mm-hmm. It's just not that formal national consultation.
Right. It's and I know that you and I both understand the difference between engagement and communication and collaboration and the formal consultation that is the understanding of what that direct government-to-government relationship means. So
I hear you.
I'm sure you do, sir, and I appreciate that. I have one more question, but what I'm going to do is to submit that question for the record in the interest of time. And this question has to do with the excellent report that Ms. Ortiz and the GAO has produced at the request of Senator Murkowski and Senator Schatz, looking at the many, many barriers that are there for the Tribal Energy Financing Program. And I specifically have some follow-up questions for you, Mr. Conrad, around the issues of capacity building and what more needs to be done there. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Chair Murkowski, thank you.